Hello everyone and welcome back to my full note-taking app course. It's Swift, and in this video it will be starting to create our application. So select a single view application and click next. We're going to call our product Notes, so it's very clear that this is a Notes app. All of this, you can choose whatever you need. For the language, choose Swift. Devices, choose whatever you need. I'm going to be focusing on iPhone for this one. And make sure that use core data is selected. Then click next and choose where you want to save it. I'm going to save it in a new folder called Notes app. And I'm going to save it right here. Click create, and we're going to wait for our project to build. Alright, so now that this is all done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our main.storyboard, because we're going to start with setting up our layout and our UI. So let's just delete this default one right here, and we're going to go ahead and add a table view. So search up table view controller and just drag that in right there. Then press editor, embed in, and navigation controller, because we need a navigational system for our app. Select the navigation controller and click is initial view controller. So this is going to be the first thing we see when we open the app, and then it'll go to this because this is the root. What we're going to do next is we're just going to set a title for our table view. We're going to call it Notes because this is exactly what it is. And we're going to go into our searches and we're going to type in bar button item. And we'll drag that in right here. And then for style, system style, tint, you choose whatever you want. However, I'm going to actually be replacing this with one of our own images later on, as you saw in my preview. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you go watch it right now. But for now, I'm going to have a default one, which will be this add button, just like that. And now let's get to work on our cell. Our cell, I already know how big it needs to be. I'm going to make it 124 high, just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and get a image view. We're going to go ahead and drag this image view right into our cell, and we're going to size it so it is an exact square, and so the margins are 8 pixels on each one of the sides. So 108 by 108 it seems like. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and drag a label in for our title. Now, I am going to be adding in my own custom fonts later on. So for now, we're just going to use the system font. We're going to select System 22. And I'm going to use the medium font, like that. And we're going to replace this with name. And obviously make it big enough for the whole entire label. We're actually going to drag this all the way out because sometimes the note name might be bigger than the label. Now we're going to copy and paste another label right under this one and drag this all the way to the margin. Now this one is going to be System Light. Again, we are going to be replacing these with custom fonts later on, but for now we're going to use these system fonts. And this one is going to be System Light 18 for now. And we're just going to type in description so we know what this is. Alright, now that we have done all of this, we can go ahead and add a reuse identifier to our table view cell. It'll be very simple, very clear. We'll call it Notes Table View Cell, and that will actually be the same as our class, which we have not created yet, but we will later on. Next, we want to go to our searches, and we're going to drag in a view controller. And this will be our detail view controller, just like you saw in the preview. This will be our add and edit and view screen. And we are going to select our cell right here. We're going to control click and we're going to drag onto here and select show as our segue. and we're going to give an identifier for this. We'll call this show note. This will be the segue identifier, which we will be using in our code later. And now we want to select this view controller, and we're going to click editor, embed in, and add another navigation controller, because we want to add our own bar button items to this, and unless we give it its own navigation bar, we can't do that. So we have to do that. As you can see, that's sort of messed up our segue. So control click and just do that again really quick, just like that. Now for this, we're going to add a title, no details. We are going to replace this with our own title later, but that's what we're going to have for now. And we're going to find our bar button item again. We're dragging 2 of them this time. One of these will be our save or done button. Another one will be our cancel button. And again, we're going to be replacing these with our own custom images later on. Now we want to change the background of our view. We're going to make it an off-white color, F2, 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 just like that. Alright, and now we're going to drag in 2 views. Go all the way down to find it. One view will be at this very top, and it's going to have our title and our description. And the other one is going to contain our image. Now I'm just going to go ahead and look at the sizes for these views. Depending on how you want to make your app, the sizes might be different, but I want to make sure that my sizes are correct. This one will be 304. Oh, sorry, it's not going to be 304. I was looking at the wrong thing. But let's make this maybe 300, like that. And we're just going to drag these out. It doesn't matter exactly how we put it as long as it's more or less correct, because we're going to be adding constraints to these later. Just copy and paste this view and put it right under that one. This is going to be our image. This is going to be our image view. This view is going to contain our image in it. So now that that's all done, what we're going to do next is we're going to add in a text field that we will put at the very top, constrain that to the margins, like that. Alright, we're going to select an empty text field, so you can't see the lines, you can't see shadow, there's nothing there, because we're going to be adding our own custom style to it. And for the placeholder, we're going to type in note name, and we're going to select the font to be system medium, and the font size will be 17. Right. And now we're going to go and get a text view right under that one. We're going to drag it right under our text field, like this. And we're going to select the font to be System Light 17. And we're just going to type in note description, just like that. Now, our last thing we are going to be doing on here is we're going to go get an image view right here, and this will be our image view. Don't need to align it exactly, but more or less is a good idea, just like that. And we're actually going to go ahead and search for one more thing, which will be a tap gesture recognizer, which we will then drag onto our image view, because when we tap on the image, we want to select our image or press cancel, whatever you are planning on doing. And now what we're going to do is we are going to add another segue from our cell, and we are going to bring it to here instead. And this one is going to be present modally, like this. Oh, I'm sorry, that was not the right one. Undo that. The cell has only one segue, which goes to here, and it is a show segue, and it will have an identifier of show note, as we did before. However, we're going to be doing a segue from our add button this time. Control, click, and drag onto here, and we're going to select present modally. And we're going to give this one a segue identifier of add item. That'll be all for this video. In the next video, we will be adding constraints. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed. The project files will be in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.